Hudson-Odoi scored for Chelsea the last time they beat Forest, but the Blues are given a 46% chance of victory today. Forest, for their part, have a 26% chance of Hudson-Odoi being on the winning side of this fixture yet again. Yates in there to win it back in the midfield. Gibbs-White doing well. And Montiel making a good advanced run forward from the right-hand side of the back five. Silva across to concede the first corner.
More good football from Forest. I think Montiel can just play this a fraction earlier. He just delays that cross, which gives Thiago Silva the ability to get in front of Chris Wood.
Early stages, of course, Forest both playing like a side with the shackles off. No longer encumbered by the realistic threat of relegation. And in a position that they and the fans can enjoy their football again. Danilo with the delivery, which is got past a few. Back from Gibbs-White. Montiel clipping it in. Nice Madueke that can get his foot on the ball and lead a counter-attack here for Chelsea. Back by Yates. Slightly different role for Morgan Gibbs-White today. He's been playing in the number 10 position, but forced back out onto the right in the change of formation. It's Callum Hudson-Odoi. With a vital touch, because that would have fallen straight onto the foot of Montiel. It's been a really good start for Forest.
Yeah, I think Morgan Gibbs-White's position, whilst on paper would be on the right-hand side, he won't stay there. He'll look to come centrally, try and outnumber Chelsea in the middle of the pitch, try and get on the ball.
Shortage of men in red for this long Aina throw. It's a looping header. Petrovic able to watch it safely wide from Ryan Yates.
Some throw this right towards the far post.
Scored his first ever Premier League goal at Sheffield United last weekend. Ryan Yates at the 59th time of asking. Able to make it 2-2 there. Season this player has had. Cole Palmer nominated for the player of the season, the young player of the season as well. Madueke coming off the right, blocked by Niakate. Danilo. Oh, that Tigrish in the challenge there to win it back. Caicedo.
Yeah, you can see out of possession even now. Morgan Gibbs-White in the middle of the pitch. Because Cucurella is so central, he doesn't have to stand out on this right-hand side.
Will give licence for Montiel to push forward from the right back position for Forest. And they play against Manchester City here with this same formation. It was Aina that was given the greater licence. Go down the left. It's a good ball in towards Madueke. And Mudryk with a brilliant finish. Seven minutes of Nottingham Forest domination. And it's Chelsea that strike first. Mykhailo Mudryk coming onto it and rifling it in for his first goal in 11.
Well, Cole Palmer's the architect. I was just saying about Morgan Gibbs-White being central. It leaves a bit of space down this left for Chelsea. Cole Palmer's so intelligent. He fills that void. Not only that, he's got the ability to pick a pass that opens up the Forest defence. It's perfection from Palmer, and it isn't a bad finish from Mudryk either. Opens his body up, bends it in that far corner. Terrific Chelsea goal.
And their excellent recent run continues, soaking up the pressure and devastating when they're in possession themselves. First goal since he scored the winner at Newcastle. And it's one that will take Chelsea level on points with Newcastle. in the race for 6, which may well end up being a Europa League position. Yates forward here for Gibbs White. Goal that has just a little punctured the party atmosphere here. Forest goal difference advantage over Luton is still 12, even with that concession. As Hudson-Odoi brings the ball forward here for Forest, clipped in towards Wood. Ballyshill, there to clear. That Wood. Hudson-Odoi doing well to play him in. Wood back, and Cucurella's touch was vital. And he then got out to Yates quickly enough to hurry the shot and make sure he couldn't hit the target. Good defending.
Well, Chris Wood couldn't get the ball out of his feet quick enough. He's in decent position. His first touch isn't great. Takes it back into bodies.
I think that's the point that Nuno was making. The ball had to come in slightly quicker than it did. If we were to stay this way, Luton Town will at least go into the final day with mathematical hopes, but they would need a 7-goal victory. Must Forest lose by 6. Next week, Forest go to Burnley, already relegated today. And Luton are at home to Fulham, who will have nothing to play for. Trevor Chalobah. Madueke. Jackson peeling out into a wide position and making his way forward. Madueke is in the middle. Gallagher is arriving. It was Madueke that came closest to it. And Willy Bolly stretched out a long right leg to be able to clear.
Conor Gallagher was arriving as well, as he does so well from deep. That touch just prevents it finding its way to Gallagher.
Good turn by Gibbs White. Hudson-Odoi always the outlet on the Nottingham Forest left-hand side. Either making his way forward to his left, he went the other way for Gibbs White. And that he was shoved, but referee Tony Harrington waves play on.
The early signs are that Chalobah is scared to death of Callum Hudson-Odoi. He keeps dropping off. Every time Hudson-Odoi picks up possession, he's dropping off, not getting tight to him.
Finding those little pockets of space between the Chelsea lines. This Hudson-Odoi again is unlucky that it was ricocheted into him off Chalobah. Well, it was a good finish, but as you mentioned, Matt, it was some assist from Cole Palmer.
Well, the weight of pass is absolutely perfect. It allows Mudryk to come onto it. I'll tell you what, Mudryk's first touch is very good as well. Takes it into the space, opens his body up and just passes it into the bottom corner. What a ball from Cole Palmer.
And the goal coming with Chelsea's only attempt of the game so far. Nottingham Forest have had 4. But it is Chelsea who lead. fluidity about the way that Chelsea play these days. Conor Gallagher drifting out of the right flank this time, and he's won their first corner. Shield, the first player to have his name taken today, just his third yellow card since signing for Chelsea. It's Morgan Gibbs-White that clips it in. It's Willy Boly. It's 1-1. Parity restored. A place in the Premier League retained if it stays this way.
And it just seems so simple. A clip ball from Gibbs-White into the area. And Boly gets off his man and heads it, I think via a slight deflection, past Petrovic. But how easy was that? It's going to be checked, of course, for offside. It was close. I think he may well have just been on. But there's no pace on the ball in from Gibbs-White. He has to generate all the power himself. And now we're waiting for the lines.
Well, Benoit Badiashile, I think, is the defender that would have played him onside. Very difficult to tell from that particular freeze frame. Boly sneaking in round the back, hoping that he's scored his second goal of the season. That's an easier angle to look at. So if you see Yates, number 22 on the right-hand side, Badiashile, the Chelsea player, right next to him. And it's just a question of whether Willy Boly's right foot is beyond the right shoulder of Badiashile. That angle would suggest he's onside. I think this will stand. This is going to count. The Forest fans will find out in a moment. It is 1-1. And the lead lasted 8 minutes. And that, as things stand, the goal that keeps Forest up at Luton's expense.
They've had a poor record this season defending set pieces and corners. Nottingham Forest, they haven't scored too many from them themselves, but they've got one today and it's got them level.
The Chalobah with the big up and under. Forest will feel that it's no more than they deserve because they've had the lion's share of attempts in the early stages. Trying to create another one here is Chris Wood. And well defended by Badiashile. That one I don't think would have counted. Flag has now come up against the New Zealander.
It's just another loose ball into that far post again. He is offside, he's a couple of yards offside. But Chelsea not dealing with those balls into the area very well.
his confirmation of what that goal means. It would take Forest up to 30 points. Luton can only get to 29. So they would be relegated. Burnley and Sheffield United already down. Danilo. Really well won. Back well by Gallagher. Jackson tried to take it on, but needed to release Mudryk to his left-hand side. They're really stretched in these early stages. Here's Morgan Gibbs White. His effort blocked by Caicedo. Chelsea's opportunity to come forward in this basketball game. Jackson travelling 30 yards, 40 yards, and eventually thwarted by Yates. Back it goes from Cucurella. Here's Cole Palmer. Well, will stay 1-1 for long, this.
Twice, Nicholas Jackson's had good positions, good opportunities. Just got to slow himself down and make a better decision in the final third. Actually, with the team selection of Nuno Espirito Santo today and going with a back three. It's what he did against Man City here last time out, and actually they played pretty well, but for some wayward finishing and set piece deficiencies as we've seen all season, they may well have got something from that match.
Yeah, it was an excellent performance. It was one that gave Forest hope going into the final three games that the level of performance was such that it could be maintained, they would stay up. Great confidence going into the game at Sheffield United last week. That's a shake of the head from Mauricio Pochettino, but his side have worked their way back into a position of strength in terms of the position now. They've had nearly 2/3 of the ball.
Well, that's not unusual, is it? And even when you go back to the game earlier in the season between these two at Stamford Bridge, Forest won the game by a goal to nil with 24% of the ball.
It was Anthony Elanga that scored the winning goal that day. Came off the bench to net it and is back on the bench today. One player that has been left out to accommodate the return of Niakate. Following Palmer into the midfield, releasing Aina. He in turn can play in Hudson-Odoi. It's Yates. Took a little nick on his way through. Now the Nottingham Forest corner. Already scored from one set piece.
There's a good energy, good physicality about Nottingham Forest. Obviously boosted prior to kick-off with results elsewhere, but they've started the game really well. Deserve to be level.
Danilo. Petrovic. Wood coming around the back, almost sensing that goalkeeper might palm it in his direction.
It's not great goalkeeping. He's got so much space, he could surely catch that. Nobody near him. Just flicks it into Wood's path.
Well, that Willy Bolly goal is the 60th that Chelsea have conceded this season. They're going to end the season with their worst defensive record in any Premier League campaign. Recent matches have suggested a slight improvement at that end as well as the one at the top end of the pitch, but they came into this game without a clean sheet on the road since early October, and their worst run for 30 years continues. helped on by Wood. Thiago Silva. Just get Jackson in behind the back line. They still forward. The speed with which Palmer took that throw to nobody suggests that he knew that it was a Nottingham Forest ball. Despite the high possession that Chelsea have enjoyed, it's now 8 attempts to 1 in Forest's favour. Draw, of course, will do Nottingham Forest just fine. It won't suit Chelsea, who really need a victory today if they're going to give themselves an outstanding chance of finishing 6th above Newcastle.
I think Forest have started the game well. I think the shape of the team has been good. They're forcing Chelsea into wide areas. Morgan Gibbs-White playing centrally. Wood and Callum Hudson-Odoi are working as two centre forwards really, and saying you can go wide, but you're not going to come through the middle of us. Especially with Chelsea playing as they are with Cucurella in the middle, the two players that they're Forest to be happy to have the ball are Badiashile and Chalobah. They're probably the spare men at the moment.
Cucurella was fouled. Now Gibbs-White. Wood. The flick, took it too far behind Badiashile for Chris Wood to be able to continue his run onto it. With a chance today to significantly help his former club Newcastle. Didn't help themselves particularly earlier. Held to a 1-1 draw at home by Brighton and Hove Albion. European places will only really be decided by what happens in the FA Cup final, whether Manchester United win that or not. So at the moment it's unclear whether 6th or 7th will bring European football. 6th will of some description, 7th might not. And that just illustrates the size of Chelsea's task. If they can't win this, they'll be effectively 2.5 points behind Newcastle because of the goal difference disadvantage. Jackson just couldn't get that into his stride. It was a well-intentioned ball from Caicedo.
What a player, what a career. Nearly 40.
He's 8 months past his 39th birthday. The relentless pace of Premier League football over the last 4 years has proved no impediment to him, or little impediment. But deciding that his career would best be furthered pastures new.
It's incredibly hard, doesn't he? Nicholas Jackson makes some excellent runs. Just need to improve his decision making in the final third.
Chelsea possession. To a point inside Forest territory. Won't want this man to have too much time and space on it though. Squeezing it through again. It's Cucurella that will take over. Volley able to get it away. The play will stop because Ryan Yates is down.
You're absolutely right when you say they've got to get tighter to Cole Palmer. There's too much time and space for him. Accidental, wasn't it, from Cucurella? Wasn't even facing Yates. But Cole Palmer has already shown his capabilities by opening up the door for Mykhailo Mudryk to put Chelsea ahead. Forest have got to make sure that they get tight to him.
So play restarts with a drop ball. Chelsea have been in possession. Outside scoring in the opening half hour.
It's actually been a breathless first half. Maybe just slowed the last couple of minutes, but both sides have got so much pace in forward positions.
Jackson tried to bring it forward, he lost it. This is Nicholas Jackson. Okay, taking on Aina, who's more than happy under those circumstances to concede a corner.
He's quick enough as well. Aina sticks to his task well. Timed his tackle to perfection.
Standing over the corner again. Harrington laying down the law to those pushing and shoving inside the 6-yard box. Jackson is involved in a lot of that with Aina. It's into that area. Both of them came out towards the near post. Gallagher getting it back for Palmer. It's a Forest ball. Sells got the ball in his hand. No need to take a free kick for offside. Here's an interesting moment. As Murillo looked as though Sells, having been told that he could play on, bowled the ball out towards Murillo, who then stuck his hand on the ball. Very similar to an incident in the Arsenal-Bayern Munich Champions League tie. No complaints from the Chelsea players, but it did look as though Sells had restarted play. He's had a good week. Nottingham Forest staying up. Olympiacos in their first ever European final. And a few air miles to boot as well for Mr. Marinakis. Palmer getting it forwards. Good save. Sells out quickly, denying Jackson and Chelsea.
It's a poor ball out of the fence from Murillo. Picked up by Caicedo once again. Cole Palmer in space. He's capable of that type of pass. Another brilliant ball into the feet of Jackson. Sells does well off his line very quickly. More air underneath this delivery from Cole Palmer. Danilo volleying it away. Gallagher has got to be quick. He's not quick enough. Doing his best to stop Hudson-Odoi. He's done it by foul means, not fair. Now Cucurella is coming back as a covering defender, and that
is why it's a yellow card. The legitimacy of it being a yellow card rather than a red is being checked by the VAR, John Brooks.
There's only one winner in this race. Hudson-Odoi gets there first, gets across Gallagher. There isn't loads of contact. There's enough. He puts his arms around him. It's a definite foul. He's saved by the fact that there's bodies around him. There's definitely cover. Kukureya's coming across.
Well, it is only the fact that Kukureya was back that has saved Gallagher. So one red card this season already. His heart would have been in his mouth for a moment. It is a yellow. Well, it's a free kick in a decent area here for Nottingham Forest, which Morgan Gibbs-White will orchestrate. Bending towards that far post area. Murillo heading it back. Yates couldn't quite get there in time. Nice with a chance to play it in again. Aina does exactly that. Salcedo this time that clears his lines, Madueke. Hudson-Odoi, it breaks Palmer's way. He'll look long. Gibbs-White back to cover. The bounce was awkward. So too the second bounce. Montiel did well. Well, he covered a lot of ground there, Morgan Gibbs-White, to deal with another brilliant Cole Palmer pass.
Yeah, and he's just always aware, isn't he? And he does it so quickly.
A heady mix of vision and execution. Illustration of how Forest are happy just to back off in this kind of area when Thiago Silva's got the ball at his feet. That's no impediment to the home side.
That's absolutely fine. But what they've got to make sure is that someone locks onto Cole Palmer. He's so intelligent. He keeps drifting into the areas wide of the midfield. Getting on the half turn and looking to play forward.
Gallagher doing exactly that here. Here's Mykhailo Mudryk. Kukureya. A little straight to Palmer's position as he's just over on the right-hand touchline as he picks it up. Just giving the Forest midfielders something to think about, whether they go with him or not. Now, towards the left-hand side of your picture, he comes into a more central area and is quickly involved again.
Yeah, drifting into the wider areas of Danilo and Yates. On that occasion, Danilo had pushed in, so there was space in behind and he ran into it. His awareness is so good.
Gallagher. Between Yates and Danilo. Take what might be more than a passing interest in this as well. Right at the limit of range, not that Matt Sells is taking any chances. Lining up a two-man wall. It's odds on it's going to be delivered towards the aerial targets rather than straight for goal. It's in from Gallagher. And it was Willie Borry that was across. penalty area. Badiashile, corner. Crucial touch off Yates on the way through, because that might have been close.
He's travelling. It wasn't a great pass out of defence. Badiashile comes onto it. He's only got one thought in his mind, and that's having a dig. He catches it so sweetly.
Yates still feeling it. That's been in the wars. Trodden on by Kukurea. That was his right foot. Now a problem with his left knee. Is it a graze on his knee?
He's been a mainstay, hasn't he, under Nuno Espirito Santo.
It's potentially a collision with one of his own players that has done the damage here. Keep your eye on Yates as he slides in there and slid straight into the studs of Montiel's boot. Stop short of saying that this has been his toughest season in management. A successful conclusion well within Nottingham Forest's grasp now. If they can hold on, not concede another goal, they will be safe tonight. The relegation battle will be done and dusted with a week of the season still to go. Yates off. The last home game here against Manchester City, Forest had a player off the field for a moment when they were defending a corner. It was Nico Williams, and City scored from it. Temporarily down to 10 men again to defend this latest corner. Montiel and Mudryk making their acquaintance. Chelsea's got very little room with which to work. Jackson is ensuring that, pushing and shoving with Aina. And now looking for the flick on from Palmer, and Sells comes out to claim it. And Gates not back on the field. I think he'd be well advised just to keep his hands on the ball for a moment.
Plenty shoving and pushing. 1 or 2 claims for a penalty. Aina on Jackson. It was 6-1, half dozen of the other.
The incident checked and cleared. Yates back on. Badiashile in possession here for Chelsea. The top 3 have taken more points than the Blues over the last 3 months. Only lost in the last 12 games since early February coming at Arsenal. It really was a bad day at the office for them. They haven't had too many recently. A fair few stoppages in this first half. We're expecting 5 minutes to be added. We're 2 minutes away from that. Free kick.
That in isolation, you'd say it was a shove by Aina, but the 2 of them were at it.
Do you want your defender defending like that, though? Just giving the officials something to think about.
Well, it does. I mean, he's trying to keep him away from his goalkeeper. He's trying to get in between Jackson and Sells, just to prevent him stopping the goalkeeper coming off his line.
Halo still there ahead of Wood, and made sure that he didn't let it run out of play for a corner. It's back for Niakate. So I try to get in behind Chalobah. Pushed by Yates off the ball. Morgan Gibbs right back on his feet, out of your view. Hobbling back into contention in the midfield.
I think if anything, Chelsea's build-up play has been a little slow. It's allowed Forest to get themselves back into shape.
Squeeze it through. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Getting off Silva. Wood trying his luck. Very difficult chance. Helped by the slightly awkward bounce in front of him. Those marauding Murillo runs have been a picture of Nottingham Forest season.
That was a decent chance, wasn't it, for Hudson-Odoi? Particularly to run at Thiago Silva. Went for an early shot.
Looks offside. Mauricio Pochettino played down the ongoing speculation about his future. He said that he has been involved in the planning for the summer's pre-season tour and it's business as usual. He did critically, though, add that any decision about his future wouldn't be purely down to whether the owners were happy with him, also whether he himself was happy and if his own expectations have been met.
He wasn't convincing on his future at Chelsea for next season, but I think he deserves another year at it. The only thing I'd say is they have conceded too many goals this season. That's something he has to rectify. 60 in the Premier League already this season. It's far too many. Turned down the opportunity to hit that ball over the top as well a fair few times now. Chelsea. Jackson continues to make the run in behind.
What's been about Forest when they try to break forward? A little bit too much speed on that occasion for the passes to be fluent. Just running into trouble. He's going to have to stop here because of the whack in the face that Madueke picked up. Chelsea have had a little bit more action inside the Forest final third in the last 15 minutes or so. Possession on the rise, but still Forest have had 2/3 of the attempts.
They've looked dangerous on the counter, Forest, I think. quite rightly said, they look more fluid and a bit more pace when they turn the ball over, whereas Chelsea are up against a good defensive structure of Nottingham Forest, but they've been a little bit slow in moving the ball. They can do it a bit quicker.
It's a nice pass from Mondial. So much of that from Gibbs-White, who can normally be so relied upon to pick somebody out from that kind of range. Jackson's loose touch, getting Forest going again. Not sure what Murillo had seen. Galley. Working for Cucurella. Chance in the first half of Palmer potentially to make something happen. He's found Mudryk, combination that provided the goal. Danilo gets it away from inside his penalty area, and that signals the end of the first half. Delight for Nottingham Forest. The point, it goes without saying, much better. Forest have taken just 9 points in the last 11 games. Only Luton have been beaten more since the turn of the year, but coming in today, they've only lost 3 of the last 8. If they can make that 3 out of 9 in this second half, it'll be job done. Relegation will be avoided for a second successive season in the final home game of the campaign. Whacking the ball into Mudryk. Kate. Good forward again by Bolly. Morgan gives White. Let's try the side able to really get their foot on the ball in the early stages, but Chelsea might be in business here. Mudryk looking up, he's got Palmer with him. Noni Madueke is there as well. And Niakate steers it away. Really good situation that Chelsea should have made more of. 3 against 2 counter-attack, and it didn't lead to a shot.
Lack of belief, lack of conviction. Brilliant opportunity for Mudryk to just really drive that Nottingham Forest's defence and have a go himself. Took the easy option by going back towards Madueke.
Gibbs White. In from Montiel. That's the boy that was lurking. Someone knew exactly where he was. First half of the fourth problem was because he gets a deceptive amount of distance on it. Chose to change the ball, as is his right. Good distance again. Bolly flicking it on. Go Silva there to clear. His delivery with his left foot be as good. Bad. It was Shield repelling that one. Again, the counter-attack might be on. Palmer couldn't squeeze it through. Jackson had offered a passing angle for him. Ball again by Bolly. Shot on Gibbs White. He did well to ride it. Yates was fouled.
It's actually been a scrappy start to the second half on both sides. Chelsea had that golden opportunity with Mudryk. And you'd think after scoring the goal that he did in the first half, the confidence would be running through his veins. As it turns out, he took the easy option. Glorious opportunity for Chelsea to go back in front.
White get the delivery right. He's gone in very deep again. Murillo with the header. Thiago Silva there to go and get it clear. And Aina just Petrovic honest, though he knew that he had it covered.
The crowd were urging him to shoot, and it eventually came back to him. He's a long, long way out, but he listened to the crowd, took aim, he struck it cleanly enough, but never troubling the goalkeeper.
He made 6 appearances for Chelsea at the start of his career. Just the 1 goal for Nottingham Forest so far, which came in a victory here against Villa. They've been able to raise their game on the big occasions this season. They've had 8 league wins. 5 of them have come like that Villa victory against sides in the top half of the table. Hoping to add another scalp today. They don't need one, remember. A draw will do them just fine. outdo Chelsea. Much greater emphasis on them to push forward. Danilo gives one. Aina. Given away by the fullback. This is Conor Gallagher. It's never too far away from him. And there was an accusatory finger pointed there by Gallagher. Inside. He's got a bang to the mouth as he did so.
Just look at Chelsea's players, they're all stood still, waiting for some time. The only one that's any movement is Cole Palmer. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but he's been exceptional this season. He's the only one that's looking to get on the ball and create.
Well, the assist that he had in the first half means that he's now had as many goal involvements as any other player in the Premier League this season. He's tied Ollie Watkins on 31. Racing strongly again. Gibbs White not happy with the challenge that came in on him. Gallagher. Ball from Yates. Gibbs White skipping away beautifully from Cucurella. Hudson-Odoi has it now. Scorer of a couple of goals last week, the first brace of his professional career.
That was good defending from Chalobah that time. Showing the line, doesn't want him to cut inside on his right foot. We've seen it so many times this season. Hudson-Odoi cutting in and bending one up into that far corner.
Picking up the pieces. They're playing their way out of trouble in a potentially dangerous area. Challenge for Minor to win it back. Wood with the layoff. Four from Niakate. Gibbs White. Just thought about it then. Ryan Yates might as well. He does. He raises the post on his way past.
Forest are playing with intensity. They've been really competitive and plenty of 50-50s in the middle of the pitch. Opened up nicely for Yates and he catches it sweetly. Skips off the surface. Unfortunately for him, it skips off the post as well.
Just a couple of yards away from his first ever Premier League goal on this ground. The lifelong Nottingham Forest supporter. Left to him. And if it comes, the 18th instalment of Yates against Gallagher ends in a Chelsea free kick and a little shove in the chest from the Chelsea captain to his Forest counterpart.
He needs to be careful because he's been booked as well, hasn't he, Conor Gallagher?
It's fair to say that Yates is a seasoned campaigner and knows exactly what he wants to do. He'll be happy to get himself into a position that he and Gallagher both end up getting a yellow card for their part in the particular incident. See the Chelsea captain sent off. That's a good yellow card to take if he can engineer it. Caicedo chipping it over the top here. It's Palmer. Promising move, fizzes out quickly.
Yeah, it's an excellent ball from Caicedo. Once again, untracked. Cole Palmer times his run, looks across the line, stays onside. It's a really clever pick out from Caicedo. For once, Cole Palmer gets it wrong.
Manchester City game here, the last that Forest played on the City ground, that they gave Aina the licence to push forward, particularly in the second half. Didn't have to worry so much about coming back as left back in the 5. It seems to be a similar story here. His starting position more advanced in the second period than it was in the first. Another long throw from Aina inside the penalty area. Silva on the end of that again. Hudson-Odoi slicing across it. And it's going to go out of play for a throw. On the Chelsea bench below us, Augusto and Nkunku are going to be coming on. Yes, that's going to be Nottingham who will come off, but also Benoit Badi a shield. So Chalobah, you would imagine, will move into centre half. Gusto will come on at right back. Skip through what might be his last involvement in the game. And he continues to travel forward. Nice past that, Montiel. Flipped in Danilo. That was a header that was going well wide. Chelsea keep it back in for Forest. Hudson-Odoi. Twisting, turning, crossing. And it should have been an assist. Gibbs White hitting the post. And Wood contriving to miss the target.
Well, I can't quite believe it. No one in the City ground can quite believe it. It's brilliant from Gibbs White on the far post to win the header and keep it alive. He's unlucky. Gets there ahead of Kukurea. He's unlucky. Chris Wood can't move his feet quick enough. But from 2 yards out, he's just got to score. He can't believe it. None of us can.
Well, he missed great chances at Spurs and here against Manchester City as well. And he should have given Forest the lead there. Chelsea make the double change with the hour mark in sight. So Nkunku just giving a few instructions to Conor Gallagher about who's playing where. Palmer has gravitated out towards the Chelsea right flank. Looks as though Nkunku's going to play off Jackson.
And that's his position, really, isn't it? He's a number 10. And he's fluid, he can play in a number of different positions. I think that's his best position. Cole Palmer might say the same.
Jackson fouled by Murillo. Nkunku made his comeback against West Ham last week. Got 15 minutes. It was his first appearance in 10 weeks. Chelsea fans still yet to see the best of him because of the really bad knee problems that he's been suffering with ever since he signed for the club.
They're getting a few back actually from injury right at the back end of the season. Chelsea. Colwell was back, wasn't he? Ugochukwu on the bench today as well.
And Reece James too. There's Gusto. Cutting in field. His right foot to his left, but the latter touch was too heavy. Palmer will pick it up. Coming into a more central area again, faced up by Yates. Squeezing it through. Sure that Jackson quite read it. Murillo was there to clear. Chelsea needing to inject some urgency into their play, and maybe a sense that it's beginning to come for them.
I think it felt as though they needed to make a change because the second half had been Forest on top. See, in the second half already, Forest have had 4 attempts on goal, Chelsea just the 1. Momentum was in Forest's favour. Felt as though Mauricio Pochettino needed to go to his bench to try and change things.
Nobody there for him. Ryan's first header just invited further problem. Hudson-Odoi is going to be able to bring it away though. Falling towards Wood. Gibbs White having to adjust the trajectory of his run very quickly. Great skills to switch it back for Hudson-Odoi. Gibbs White continuing his run. Chris Wood is waiting. Montiel has made his way unmarked towards the right-hand side of the penalty area, but peels back out now. Good awareness from Hudson-Odoi, who then drilled it straight at Gibbs White once the offside flag was up. Palmer taking the free kick from the wrong place. Chelsea just asked to reset. Well, no sign of Reece James coming on just yet, but how he has been missed. 5 months since he last played. And getting back to fitness just about in time to be considered for England's squad for the forthcoming European Championships. Be a massive boon for the Three Lions and Gareth Southgate if he is fit for that. Here's Gusto. And blocking the cross. Woodrick had made a really good run at the far post, and I think he was the target. And Nkunku. Kante falling over, but making sure as he did so, he fell into Nkunku to deny him a chance to get a cross in.
It took too long, Niakate, to make his mind up. Caught on the ball. And he drags Nkunku to the ground. And it's a clear foul.
Himself in making that challenge. He's having to inflict a little bit further pain here, and might yet do so. It's come back off the post. Again, it's all about the quality of delivery from Palmer. And Thiago Silva with the little flick of the head. Back off the post. Both sides have hit the post in this second half. Forest twice. Hudson-Odoi. Ball from Chalobah. Given the instruction that he had a little bit of time in the midfield. With another lovely weighted ball, and Nkunku. Woodrick coming again, and Murillo was there in the nick of time because Woodrick's quick, but boy, was Murillo speedy over the first couple of yards. Here's the chance.
Yeah, we were right behind it, right in line with it.
Song that used to emanate around these parts for Des Walker has been remixed by the Forest fans. You'll never beat Murillo. It's Niakate that heads that one away. Now Gibbs White. Wood. Gibbs White foul. Gets the free kick. Still moans.
How unlucky was Thiago Silva. It's another brilliant ball in. His movement's great. Gets right across that line. Clever flick header. So close.
It's a ball going the long way round Gusto. In that part of the penalty area for him though. From Woodrick in towards Jackson is Ryan Yates, whose number might be up in a moment. Forest are preparing to make a double change. Anthony Elanga is going to come on. I think that will see Gibbs White come into the middle. Yates will depart. Harry Toffolo is going to come on as well, so I think that Aina will move to right back. Martial will be the player that will be replaced. Around. I'll go for Cole Palmer. Foul is outside the penalty area. Palmer ending up in the box. Contact outside.
Just keeps that ball so close to him. So elusive. Terrific skill.
Fans weren't happy. A few fingernails being bitten here. There'll be a few more being bitten in Luton. They'll be cheering Chelsea on like never before. Sells not taking any chances. 5 in the wall, 1 behind it. 3 more Forest players in close attendance. It's Palmer, straight into that contingent of Forest players.
Well, with it being so close, he had to go for power. Put a bit more on it than he would like to have done. It wasn't a great free kick.
Turning away again. Walker one for Murillo. It bounced up and possibly hit his hand. He's being looked at. Check is complete. Comes off his own body onto his hand. It was more than an accidental handball. And here's Gusto. Chasing Murillo there.
Changes have made a difference. This is the handball shout. You see it just flicks up, does hit his hand, it's down by his side. Chelsea have stepped it up. Been better since making the subs.
Chelsea's first corner of the second half, short from Palmer. Excellent header away again by Murillo. Danilo. Pass Gallagher to Hudson-Odoi. Liner. Not too far away.
Really hard, Liner, to get up and support. Hudson-Odoi is looking for it and finds Liner on the edge of the box.
Well, Forest wanted to make a double change with the ball going out of play. Chelsea's restart prevented that. Sells. That ball got a little bit big on him. Quicker than he anticipated. He gets it away. Collision then made with Jackson on the follow-through, and that is being assessed.
There's nothing there. Skipped off the surface.
There's no doubt that he played the ball, and also no doubt that, having done so, there was going to be a collision between the pair of them. Will taking charge of this one. Gusto. I'm still waiting to make that double change, and Raheem Sterling will be coming on for Chelsea very shortly too. And Nkunku. Palmer. Gallagher. Nobody taking the responsibility. Mudryk back for Palmer. Couldn't work the opening as he wanted. Gallagher tried to thread it through. The needle far too thin. Forest break. Get it quickly forward for Hudson-Odoi. William Gibbs-White up in support for him. Nobody else. It's gone for goal. This time they've hit the bar.
Well, when you're defending against Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I've said it a few times, don't show him inside. Don't show him on his right foot. He's allowed to come inside. Caicedo gets a little touch, I think. Yeah, a little nick off Caicedo. It's enough. That's what he wants to do, Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Well, Forest will now maybe double change. Harry Toffolo and Anthony Elanga coming on. Gonzalo Montiel leaves the field. Ryan Yates will also make way. So changes that will just necessitate a little bit of tinkering. Central role for Gibbs-White. Switch of flanks, you would imagine, for Aina. Forest have a corner. They've got 20 minutes to endure. Forest don't concede. They've stayed up. In comes the corner. Straight to the hands of Petrovic. Sterling on once they were defending a corner, but he will be introduced at the next break in play. Imagine for Mudryk. An exhibition of Aina's pace against a very speedy winger. Mudryk will now come off. Raheem Sterling on to replace him. He scored here last season, but that's one of only 6 of his last 42 Premier League games in which he has scored.
You can understand exactly why Nuno Espirito Santo has wanted Aina to get across to that side against Mudryk's pace. And now, obviously, Raheem Sterling coming on in that position as well.
Here's Cole Palmer working it in, and Kunku had to go for goal quickly, just stab it with Murillo, closing the gap in front of him.
Much like Hudson-Odoi at the other end, don't show Palmer in onside on his left foot as well. He's got the ability to go for goal and also pick out a teammate. This time it's Nkunku who finds.
First touch from Elanga. Hudson-Odoi cutting inside again and scoring the goal that may well keep Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. You can't show him inside. They'd had their warning. Hudson-Odoi punishes Chelsea. It's a goal with severe ramifications for Chelsea's European run. It's a goal that probably finishes Luton Town off. Forest firing the Chelsea old boy back to haunt them with a goal of immense significance.
It's a goal of immense quality. Excellent interchange between Nottingham Forest players in the forward areas. Hudson-Odoi picks it up, wants to come inside. I've been saying it all game. He's at the double against Sheffield United, and he may well have scored the goal that secures their Premier League status. It's a fabulous finish. How quickly does he get that out of his feet and get his shot away. There's no backlift. He just bends that into the far corner, out of Petrovic's reach. A huge goal in Nottingham Forest season.
Well, a player who's enjoying the longest run of starts of his career, the best spell of his career in front of goal. And as he faces his old club for the very first time, he scores against them on his 100th Premier League appearance. And the ironic songs of Chelsea reject emanate around the city ground. 3-2 for Hudson-Odoi. Back-to-back wins for Forest if it stays this way. And that will see them safe. Now in the position where they can afford to concede one and still paint the town red tonight.
They carried a constant threat on the counter.
This is confirmation of what it means. Forest will be 6 points clear of Luton, who will be relegated if it stays this way, or indeed if Chelsea score one. Burnley down earlier, Sheffield United's fate long since assured. Forest fans young and old, enjoying the moment. 17th, not what they would have wanted at the start of the season. 17th, exactly what they would have wanted at the start of the day. Carter's picked up a yellow card for delaying the restart. Here's Wood. Towards Raheem Sterling. That's a Nottingham Forest throw.
Well, that Callum Hudson-Odoi goal has started the party inside the City ground. The noise, let me tell you, is unbelievable. What an atmosphere.
Here's Conor Gallagher finding Sterling. Gusto taking over. Toffolo committed himself. Gusto sliding it in but not finding Jackson. Chelsea will make another change. Gallagher's going to come off. And Reece James will come on. What a sight for sore eyes this is. 5 months since he last featured, having sustained that bad hamstring injury at Everton. He struggled for fitness before that. It's only his 10th appearance of the season. He's actually only been on the winning side once in the Premier League since the end of 2022. Just being back involved, a victory in itself right now. James is involved in the action straight away. It's a throw. Sterling gets Chelsea back into it. He's off the bench and made a major impression almost straight away. Scored here last season, scores here again. Just a little bit of jeopardy infused for Forest again.
Well, this is the carbon copy of the Hudson-Odoi goal. Allowed to come inside, no backlift. And curls one into that far corner. A carbon copy. Wonderful goal from Raheem Sterling. just as the party had started at Forest, thinking they were safe. Think again.
Seventh Premier League goal of the campaign, more than he got last season. Palmer gets it clear. Just trying to release Jackson with a long ball forward for him to chase after. The idea was certainly right. So Forest are going to make more changes. Sangare and Dominguez will be coming on. Chelsea scored first, held the lead for 8 minutes. Forest getting themselves ahead, and they held the lead for only 5. Sterling back for Cucurella. Reece James galloping forward. Jackson! They aren't safe yet. What a turnaround for Chelsea. 2 goals in as many minutes. And just as Nottingham Forest was celebrating the sanctuary of survival, they find themselves back in trouble again.
Well, it's incredible how quickly football can change. And what a return to action for Reece James. Makes a brilliant run. And then have you got the ability to pick out your teammate? Of course he has. Wonderfully weighted, wonderfully placed cross. And Jackson makes no mistake. In double quick time, Chelsea have turned it around. What a ball from Reece James.
Minute and 59 seconds between those 2 goals. Sterling off the bench to score 1, James off the bench to assist the other. Nicholas Jackson's 14th Premier League goal of the campaign. Understandable delight in the celebration. It earned him a yellow card and actually earns Chelsea an unwanted record. They've now tied Leeds' tally of 101 yellow cards in a Premier League season. Ricocheting off Einer and going out of play. The local elation has disappeared at a stroke. It's a goal that provides a lifeline for Luton Town. They take on Fulham next week, still 3 points behind Nottingham Forest. It would take 6-0 win for them, 6-0 defeat for Forest at Burnley. But mathematically, it could happen.
Elation to deflation for Nottingham Forest. Someone has popped their balloon. And that someone is Nicholas Jackson.
Back for Sterling. James. Fair to say that Reece James has hit the ground running, figuratively and literally. Premier League assist in 5 months, coming 3 minutes after he'd come on. Gusto. Find away past Harry Toffolo. Nottingham Forest want to make a double change. It's not the same change that they were going to make before. Instead of Sangare coming on, it's going to be Awani who will join Nico Dominguez in coming on. Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to come off. I would have thought he was going to be the match winner. How swiftly the script turned. Musa Niakate also coming off, but Awani on to replace him. So Forest flattening off to a back four. Who thought he was fouled. Toffolo getting it for him. Back from Chalobah towards Palmer. Danilo robbing him of possession. Pochettino just having an argument with the assistant referee. It's Nico Dominguez for Forest. Toffolo winning a corner. Saw 3 goals in a 7-minute spell. Still time. Stoppage time included for another 3 here. 1 will do for Forest. Imperative from Chelsea's perspective that they can repel them. Ball from Gibbs White. And well played by Georgi Petrovic under pressure. The situation turning in Chelsea's favour very quickly. They stay 7th, but back level on points with Newcastle again in the race for 6th. Still with the most outside of chances of finishing 5th. Chelsea have certainly made undoubted progress. 10 more points than they got in the entirety of last season. Not too far away now from scoring twice as many goals as they did in the entirety of the last campaign. Now got 73, which has been a massive step forward. Sterling ending up on the deck, and the argument continues between him and Aina as to how accidental it was. Sterling not happy.
It wasn't a great challenge from Aina. Not sure it warranted the reaction from Raheem Sterling though.
Defeats for Burnley and Luton today have given Nottingham Forest a massive amount of insurance down at the bottom of the table, but it will still make, just for the odd moment of nervousness over the course of the week, they know that their position of strength is largely intact. Boy getting it in. Jackson challenge from Gibbs White. Back on his feet quickly, and that's some ball. Awani. Nutmeg of James. Toffolo with the ball in. Sterling with the header, back it comes into the fray as we go into 7 minutes of added time. Rillo sending it in deep. Cucurella with a header away, was caught by Elanga in the process. Free kick to Chelsea.
It's been a frantic game. We could be in for a frantic finish. Forest desperately pushing forward to try and find an equaliser.
Forest have only ever lost their last home game of the Premier League season once. That defeat actually took them down. If they lose here, it is going to draw their fate out for another week. But the reality is, they know they're going to be okay in all likelihood. Just to reiterate the situation, if it stays this way, it would take a 12-goal swing towards Luton for them to go down. Here's Palmer. Sterling. Great save. Gusto firing it in. It hits Sells. An important save. Just having a look to see if it was a fair challenge on Malo Gusto as he made his way forward. It wasn't a fair challenge on James.
This was the game. If this goes in, brilliant from Palmer. So elusive, so clever. I tell you what, this is a big call, this, for VAR. He gets his shot away, but he does catch him.
Well, the check is complete. No penalty for Chelsea.
Some save by Matt Sells.
So Dominguez not giving a penalty away, but he did then subsequently concede a free kick, and he's picked up a yellow card for that. Chelsea taking that free kick. Ball from Caicedo. Jackson. Right, getting it forward, challenged by James. Awani. Silva across. Now Anthony Elanga. Overran that. It's out of play for a Chelsea throw. His last away win came at Palace back in early February. Cole Palmer has certainly played his part in probably ending that run here.
He's had some season. Already named Chelsea's Player of the Year, Premier League Player of the Month for April. 21 Premier League goals. Another impressive display today.
Still waiting for his first away goal in the Premier League this year, though. There's a big disparity between his numbers at home and his numbers away. Scoring goals at a rate of better than a goal a game at home. Correa ending up on the deck again. Very minimal contact from Elanga. Here's Murillo. 2 minutes for Nottingham Forest to find the goal that takes them safe definitively tonight. Dominguez. Forest haven't scored a goal this late this season. Sending this one in, Gibbs White backpedaling, it's come off James, and Forest have a late corner.
Last chance saloon. Matt Sells looking to the bench. Should he go forward? He's thinking about it. He's been told to stay at home.
Corner swung in, Petrovic with another good claim under pressure. 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, there has. He made a mess of one in the first half, but he's responded well. The last 2 that have come in under pressure, he's held on to brilliantly.
Waiting for the picture to unfold ahead of him. Dominguez didn't give him the opportunity to have that amount of time. Silva there ahead of Wood. 7 minutes all but up. There's been a VAR check within the 7 minutes, so still time for Nottingham Forest to find the goal that sends Luton down today. Throw from Aina. Murillo going up for it. It's going to break for Ilanga. Hooking it back in. Header away came from Nkunku. Kukurea perhaps had a little bit more time than he thought. Sterling gave up the chase. Humped back long again. Important header from Chalobah. Gibbs White. And shacks it away and out of play for a goal kick.
That you think will be it. The game to go. Still on 29 points, 3 clear of Luton. Much better goal difference. The chances of going down very slim. But how they'd like to have got the job done today. As for Chelsea, pushing hard for European football.
Nottingham Forest all but safe after earlier results. Their fears now hypothetical rather than critical, but they couldn't make themselves mathematically secure. Chelsea's European hopes strengthened by 2 goals in a 2-minute spell late on. Nicholas Jackson getting the winner. Raheem Sterling had come off the bench.